Hey everyone, so this is a bit of a different video from usual. Obviously you guys know by now I do music reviews, so seeing something like this might be a little bit surprising. You're probably also expecting me to be looking this way to read off a script throughout this whole thing, but this is going to be different because I wanted to just make a quick video and kind of ramble for a little bit. I've been wanting to just kind of sit on camera and just let some words spill out and just see where it goes. And I thought I would do that by just kind of saying thank you to everyone who's watching this for all the support that you guys have shown me in 2021. This video is going to get a little bit more personal than usual. I've never been totally afraid of getting too personal. Again, I don't try to tell every single intricate detail, but I'm willing to be a little more personal on camera with you guys, so I will be doing that here, just giving that as a bit of a forewarning for you guys. And the reason I really wanted to make this video to thank you guys for 2021 is because I've probably mentioned this in some videos. If not, some of you guys who follow me on Twitter might know I've said this before, but 2021 has been by far the worst year of my life. And as of the filming of this video on December 10th, there's still a little less than a month left for this year to kick my ass. Can't wait to see what else we got in store. But there's a lot of reflecting I want to do on this year because, as I said, it has been the worst year of my life, and I thought I'd explain why. For the most part, the earliest parts of the year were pretty okay. Nothing crazy exciting, but nothing crazy terrible either. It was just a pretty solid start to the year. I was kind of just in a mindset where things were going fine. I was accepting things as they were going. I was enjoying working with my internship at the Gamer Kit when I was doing that. I was doing these reviews as well. So those first 4 months were quite good. But then things really started to shift around May. This is where we get into a little bit more of the personal stuff, but I will quickly reveal this part on camera and not try to dwell on it. At one point early in May, my grandfather passed away, and while it wasn't the most stressful thing in the world, it was around that time that other such stressful things really started to take their hold. You guys know this because I've talked about it in my videos, and it's why I've kind of been a little more inconsistent and a little bit slower with videos throughout this year. But this year has been a complete shit show for my physical health. I've mentioned this in the past, but I have Crohn's disease, and some of my issues with my Crohn's got way worse than normal. Sometimes I would just have weeks-long stomach pain that wouldn't go away no matter what. Other times I was incredibly gassy and not really able to like go out and do much because my stomach was so uncomfortable. I'll spare a lot of the other gross details, but just know that this year there were so many times where I was just feeling unbelievably sick and was not able to make it much better. Even after I was doing everything that I should have been doing, fixing my diet, exercising more, taking all different kinds of medication, but even after taking all different kinds of medication, I rarely even felt better. Even now, I am slightly better, but still not really feeling all that great, even with all of the medication that I am taking. And in the past, I was usually able to control it pretty well, but this year in particular, it's been a lot more challenging for me. I would honestly say that these physical health issues kind of, in and of themselves, killed a lot of my year. I pretty much lost a lot of my summer vacation because of that. Not that I necessarily had a vacation because I was out of college during this summer. I graduated last year, so I wouldn't have really had a vacation, but I pretty much lost a vast majority of my summer because of it. I will honestly say that more so than many summers in the past, this was a year that I had the most opportunities to go hang out with friends and enjoy social time and do social things. I'm a homebody who's very socially anxious, but this year I was given a lot more opportunities to do social things, but too many times I had to basically tell my friends no because my body was just not agreeing with me. In fact, this is another little bit of a personal thing, but this Christmas I was invited by some friends to go on vacation to Universal in Florida, which is a place that I love. I'm not a huge theme park park guy, but Universal is a place that I think is like the best place ever. I love it. But unfortunately, for the reasons related to my physical health, I had to basically tell the person who was running the trip that I couldn't go. And I felt really bad about that because I had already paid for part of it and quite a bit of the trip was already paid for, but it was probably one of the worst parts of my year. That part alone was just absolute shit for me. It wasn't just that. That wasn't the only reason that I had to drop from it, but that was a huge reason because I couldn't trust myself to be away from home on a plane for multiple days in a theme park with the way that my body's been treating me as of late. The stomach wasn't even the only thing that was bothering me because at one point this year I came down with a sickness. I mentioned it in a previous video, I believe, but I came down with a sickness that I think was just a cold, but there was a genuine point where I thought it was COVID and that gave me a huge scare, and all of this stuff was just driving me insane. Before the physical sickness, I felt like my mental health had been getting a lot better this year. I obviously, you know, think that things like anxiety and depression that I deal with are never really gonna go away, but I think they become easier to manage at points, and for the earliest parts of the year I was getting to a point of acceptance where I wasn't feeling as down as often. But the physical health issues really made my mental health a lot worse, as I'm sure some of you might understand, and this really just kind of shot my year directly in the foot. This was also a year where I dealt with a lot of financial stress as well. Early in the year, as some of you guys may remember, I opened an OnlyFans for my content creation, hoping that I could possibly make money off of the content that I make, but I had to close it pretty quickly, which is understandable. My content isn't really good for that platform. I'm not going to act like it's the platform's fault or blame anyone for not wanting to pay for it. It just didn't work out that way. And struggling to find a paying job in my field as a writer was just kind of difficult. And one job that I did get basically dropped me while I was in training. So that was a pretty frustrating part of the year too. Even now that I have a job where I do make at least some money, financial stress has been a pretty huge issue. And that was another big reason I had to drop from that trip with my friends, because student loan repayments are really fun. Even though there's the freeze on them, I was trying to pay off some as fast as I can so that when the freeze stopped, I didn't have to constantly deal with interest. So much for that. And I mentioned the gamer kit earlier. Some of you guys may know this, but I dealt with some very publicized conflicts with the gamer kit. I won't go too deep into them in this video, but I posted about them a lot on my socials, and those really drained the hell out of me. All that stuff was just coming together, and it felt like it was just constantly punching me in every part of my body. Because 2020 was the kind of year where I thought, this year sucks, but 2021 has to be better. I entered the year with an optimistic mindset because I told myself at the end of 2020, if I could get through that shit, I feel like I could get through anything. And I started to feel like 2021 had to be better no matter what. And maybe for some of you it was, and if it was, I'm very happy for you and I'm glad to hear that, but for me it wasn't. This year was possibly the first time where I honestly felt kind of hopeless, and I feel like I've become just cynical enough to believe at times that things just won't get better. I hate to say that, but that's kind of just how I felt at times throughout this year, because every time I tried to have a bit of an optimistic mindset or manifest something a bit better, about 12 shitty things had to come flying in right away. So it was just a real shit show of a year. But the one thing that kind of helped me escape from a lot of that was my content creation. Doing things on this channel, for example, it gave me a chance to do something I really enjoyed. Listen to music, talk about music, interact with other people who really enjoy music. I also write poetry, which even if I didn't do as much of that this year, that was a good outlet for a lot of these feelings. My job that I do now involves video game writing, so getting to be in these fields that I love, where I get to talk about things like music and gaming. That was just a great escape for me, and it was a great way to kind of like distract myself from everything else that was going on around me. And moving to TikTok helped me kind of get more content out and take a lot of stress off my back in relation to putting content out for everyone to watch. And it kind of made a huge difference in terms of me getting noticed. This is a small channel, and it should be obvious, it's only a couple hundred subscribers, but on my TikTok, Lil Nas X reposted my review of his album on his TikTok, and Alessia Cara liked and commented on my review of her album. These two artists who I have loved and respected for years suddenly noticed me. They know who I am in some way. They at least know my face. This is something I never would have thought, and it still kind of blows my mind that it's there. It happened. It was really a real thing that happened. I always thought that doing content creation for a living was just a fun little pipe dream, and it was always something I wanted to get to, but I didn't know how realistic it was. But this was the first year that this pipe dream honestly felt like it could be a reality. This was the first year where I really thought, holy shit, I could do this. There's a good chance I could do this with the rest of my life. This could be what I do with myself for the rest of my life. And that's exciting to me. To be able to do this thing that I love, to be able to review music, talk about music, nerd out about music, talk about gaming and nerd out about gaming, do all this stuff. To be able to do that for a living, it's pretty exciting, and it was probably one of the best things about this year. As bad as it was something that kind of at least was able to make me smile in a year where the world felt like it never wanted me to, or where I felt like the world never wanted me to. So I say all this just to once again say thank you to all of you guys who watched and supported my stuff in 2021. Even if it was something as small as just clicking on a video, watching it, hitting the like button, leaving a comment, supporting my TikTok, my game writing, my poetry. You guys could have been doing anything else with your time, but the fact that you came here to support my stuff, it made me happy, and it made me glad that I get to do this. Because I know that I'm not anywhere near a big channel, and I don't get a crap ton of comments or subscribers or whatever, but I think if I make a video and at least one person, you know, checks it out, leaves a like, leaves a comment telling me that they enjoyed it, or telling me something I could do to improve my presentation, or giving their thoughts on something that I talked about and starting a conversation with me in the comments, then I feel like I've succeeded. And I think this year was probably one of the biggest times where I felt like I succeeded. So I say all this to say thank you guys for all the support and love that you guys showed in 2021. Thank you for coming along for this ride. And thank you guys for making 2021 a little more bearable. I can't wait to keep this going in 2022, and I hope you guys stay along for the ride. So again, thank you guys for watching. I know this was a bit rambly, but I just kind of wanted to get on camera and say a few words. Thank you guys if you sat through this entire video. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to be doing all the like and subscribe, support all blah blah blah. There's not really going to be any links in the description, just one final thank you. And yeah, I'm greatly appreciative. I don't say it a whole lot, but it really means so much that you guys really care about my content and that you guys check out my stuff. As I said, you could be doing anything else, but you're here supporting me. So thank you guys for that. It really means the world to me. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you've shown to me throughout 2021. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in 2022. Peace.